picking up out there?
She should be clear.
Test? How we doing? Okay, all right. Good morning. It's now 9 a.m. The monthly meeting of the Fairfield Glade Board of Directors will come to order. This morning's meeting is being recorded and the video will be posted on the Community Club website for member viewing. We have returned to our pre-COVID meeting protocols with the meeting open to all members of the Community Club. This morning, to honor America, please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence to remember all those who have served and are serving in uniform. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pat, would you please call the roll of the board members?
Mr. Cox?
Here.
Mr. Ford?
Here.
Mrs. Galloway?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mrs. Storr?
Here.
Mr. Wedgeworth?
Here.
Mr. Chairman, there are 7 board members present. Therefore, we did have a quorum.
Thank you, Pat. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the prior board meeting held on May 27th, 2021?
I'll second.
Second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The meetings from the May 27th, 2021 meeting are approved. This morning in the audience, we have Cumberland County Mayor Alan Foster and our 9th District County Commissioner Colleen Mall. Mayor, would you like to make a few comments?
Good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, good to see the road opened up now out there. I came in at about 48 miles an hour, and some of y'all were going a little fast, but that's okay. We made it safe. The lights working, and I feel like I'm back at home because Pat's got his nice colored shorts on. That just always makes me feel more comfortable, so it's good to see that. Just a very few points of interest. You've heard that Lori Powell, the property assessor, passed away. The county is under the process of filling that. That will be filled by the county commission. Anyone that is interested in filling the seat would need to notify my office in writing by July 8th. It is preferred that you do a cover letter. The law doesn't require it, but I think the commission would prefer that for sure. If you're not able to notify my office by July 8th at noon, you can still be considered at the full commission meeting. Verification of residency is required for that, so sad we lost Ms. Powell, but the commission will be filling that in the July, I believe, 19th meeting of the commission. Election Commission is moving office, it's moving locations. We've talked here in the past how we've bought some property over on Northside Drive, which is the road that goes by Romo's and Bojangles. So that they are moving starting tomorrow and next week. Tomorrow and next week they're closed. They will open up on the 6th in their new location. The 5th, the county is closed for 4th of July. The budget is still being worked on. I would have to say the emphasis this year has been on employees. There were no raises last year, and on getting the sheriff department's pay some equity compared to others, and looks like that's moving forward good. Last thing I want to mention is the COVID. We are down to 8 active cases, and I went back and looked at that. The last time we were that low was March of last year when this pandemic started, and that was within like the first 10 days or so of after our first case we were that low. So it's been a long time coming. Vaccinations have moved to the health department. You don't have to have an appointment. And so far, we have 23,176 people that have had at least one shot and 21,669 that are fully vaccinated. And as I say every month, we have a great health department. If you are there, thank them for their service that they've given us throughout this trying time. So that's all I have. If there are any questions or... Thank you.
Okay. Colleen, did you have any comments you want to make? Thank you. Okay, then we'll continue with the June comments from across the board. As we continue to return to business as usual, we want to remind everyone that we need to remain vigilant as we interact with others in public, even if you have been vaccinated. While we encourage everyone to be vaccinated, not everyone will choose to do so, and not everyone you encounter when you are in public will be vaccinated. Remember, using any of our club facilities or attending planned events is your personal choice, and only you can gauge how comfortable you feel in doing so. The most reliable source of information affecting your personal health is your primary care physician or your health care provider. The Board of Directors deeply appreciate the support we receive from Speaker Cameron Sexton and Senator Paul Bailey as they supported the enactment of state legislation to limit the liability of the community club in legal actions. The Tennessee Governmental Tort Liability Act limits the club's liability to $300,000 for individuals, $700,000 for individual incidents, and $100,000 for property damage. These new limits are similar to those for municipalities and will allow the community club to reduce our commercial liability insurance coverages. But more importantly, it protects the community club from excessive and potentially devastating legal actions. This is another example of how fostering a positive, constructive, and cooperative relationship with our state and county representatives is in the long-term best interest of the community club members. As we look to the future, we'd like to share a couple of thoughts that will guide us as we shape our future. First, as a community, we will need to invest in our future. If we really want to shape the future of our community, we need to focus our efforts on attracting new residents in what will be called the post-COVID environment. Contemporary facilities, whether they are renovated or newly constructed, high-speed internet access, and monitoring the emerging trends of other large master plan communities will be critical to our success in attracting new residents. Second, we need creative thinking. In partnership with our developer, we need to continue to work on developing and implementing a community master plan that contains a balanced growth strategy with a blend of both residential and commercial development, complementing the natural beauty of the Glade. Third, we need to practice disciplined fiscal responsibility. This board and future boards will need to continue their focus on disciplined fiscal responsibility with a priority on pay-as-we-go strategy and manageable debt to fund future capital projects. We know how to do this. We have demonstrated our ability to control expenses, so planning for and controlling our expenditures will allow us to live within our means. And finally, we need to continue to improve communications in all areas. We invested a great deal of time and effort in our community communications efforts during the coronavirus timeframe. We will continue to focus on open and honest messaging, and will seek additional opportunities to explain why it is important for us to take actions on a particular topic. Here are the latest updates on our major capital projects. We are pleased to report that the overwhelming response to the new Mirror Lake entertainment area, known as the Grove, has been very positive. We will be adding additional food vendors as needed to meet any increased demand from event goers. We are all looking forward to an exciting summer entertainment season. We continue to experience strong support and usage of the newly renovated Stonehenge Grill. Construction on the Racket Center renovation project is proceeding. The exterior stonework has been completed. Interior work is progressing well, with the tile work and flooring being installed. Members of the Racket Center will continue to use the original Pro Shop as a temporary entrance and check-in location during construction. The newly refurbished existing pavilions at Robin Hood Park were ready and reopened for Memorial Day activities. We have started the initial planning for the next phase of the park expansion project and look forward to additional community amenities in time for Memorial Day next year. We are reviewing alternatives to update the Heatherhurst Snack Bar area. And that is our June update from across the board. And with that, Bruce, the treasurer's report, please.
Good morning. How's everybody? I don't know about you, but the club's in good financial condition. So I'll go through the report. I'll remind you that the numbers in parentheses tie to the numbers in parentheses on the data chart so you can correlate the two. As I say, we continue to be in a strong financial position. The sewer, we started the year with a little over $3 million of cash. We ended up May with around $3.6 million of cash compared to $2.6 million at the end of May last year, which is a positive change of $972,000. For the POA, we started the year with $2.5 million of capital cash and ended the month of May with $1.1 million of capital cash. That reduction, if you remember, is primarily due to the fact that we paid off the Stonehenge loan. For operations, we started with $3.7 million of operating cash. We ended the month of May with $5 million of operating cash. Started the year with total cash of $6.2 million and ended May with $6.1 million compared to $3.9 million at the end of May last year, which is a positive variation of $2.2 million. I'd ask you to note that the debt service reserve on the sheet, the cash flow, or the balance sheet has increased from $11,451 in April to $22,902 in May, reflecting the continued savings of paying off the Stonehenge loan. We'll continue to track that debt service savings from paying off the loan in the reserve, and we'll use those funds to either reduce the amount that we may need to borrow in the future or use it to pay the debt service on any future loans. From the cash flow sheet, the sewer continues with strong results and a positive variation to budget of $192,000, driven by higher than expected tap fees due to more new home starts, reduced grinder pump maintenance, overall maintenance materials, and wage cost reductions. POA now operations has a positive variation to budget of $333,000. The major contributors to positive variance there were higher than expected assessment revenues, recovery of bad debt due to an increased emphasis on collection efforts, and a community maintenance positive variation of $146,000, which is driven by savings in wages, contractor service, and reduced R&M expenses. And Sam, I'm just hanging on to that for you, bud. There you go. Plus higher than expected revenues from home building permits as well. So the amenities net operations positive $199,000 of budget, driven primarily by a positive variation from the marinas of $82,000 due to the increased revenues from slip fees and pontoon boat rentals and reduced wages and cost and benefits and wages and operating expenses. Also, golf is positive over $92,000, driven by the fact that we're 4,049 rounds above budget. So people are playing golf, and that's good for us. Overall, POA and amenities operations favorable by over $500,000 to budget, which builds on the good performance of the first 4 months of the year. So we've had a great first 5 months. Anybody have any questions? Okay. See you next month.
Thanks, Bruce. Next item on the agenda is the general manager's report. Bob?
Okay, thank you. Some other community improvements. We hope to start road paving in July, but that will really depend on Rogers Group's schedule. So we're in the process of getting their final pricing, and so hopefully they can get started sometime in July. Lake desilting has been planned for September, so Sam's already scheduled that contractor, and they will start in September. As Bruce mentioned, we're 4,000 rounds over budget through last month end. Actually, through last month end, we've had 48,000 rounds, and the average rounds per course per day open were 111 compared to 79 last year. Now, 79 is lower than normal due to COVID shutdown last year. July 4th, Stonehenge Grill will be serving breakfast only from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then we're going to close down for a couple hours. And then starting at 3 p.m., we're going to do a 4th of July cookout curbside pickup. That's going to go from 3 to 8 p.m. and you have a choice of 2 entrees. So we sent that email out Tuesday morning. So look for that, and then we'll do it again next Tuesday. So it's a situation like all our curbside pickup where you pay in advance. So you place your order of what you want, your choices, and at the same time you pay for that. So that way we can have a smooth pickup operation. So that's just one way that we can celebrate 4th of July. We look to try and do something at Legends like we typically do in a normal year, but just felt like that would be too problematic with staffing and other things, and so we figured curbside pickup would probably be the best approach to go at Stonehenge Grill. So that is all I have, unless there are any questions.
Thanks, Bob. Barb, the resort report.
Okay, good morning. Wyndham timeshare visitors so far this month, 4,700. And year-to-date, we've had 24,159 Wyndham visitors. The conference center, we've generated $7,242, which is 10% of like revenue. Racket, 5196, 6%. Dartmoor, 25,100. St. George, 8897. Golf, 279,577, which is 12%. And food, 62,922, 14%. And a total of 388,935, which averages at 12%. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. The Architectural Control Committee report. Sam?
Thank you. The Architectural Controls Committee approved through May of 2021, disregard. The Architectural Controls approved changes to established homes through May, 780, and through May in 2020 was 687. New homes approved through May of 2021 was 52, and through May of 2020 was 33. Homes completed through May of 2021 was 30, and through May of 2020 was 37. So we're on track to have a very good new home year. Is there any questions for me? Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome.
Under unfinished, we have no unfinished business this morning. Under new business, we have an approval request for 54 Cheshire Terrace seawall on Lake Sherwood.
I make a motion that we approve the seawall at 54 Cheshire Terrace.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The approval request for 54 Cheshire Terrace seawall on Lake Sherwood is approved. This morning we have a purchase requisition for the Robin Hood Park survey in the amount of $3,500.
Yes, this is a survey to, first of all, reflect actually where the parking lots ended up, and then also to pinpoint the parcels that the Veterans Memorial will be using, that we'll be leasing to them, as well as the other amenities, so that our landscape architect can do a kind of final plan and layout for the park.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the Robin Hood Park survey in the amount of $3,500?
I so move.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The Robin Hood Park survey is approved for $3,500. At this time, we'll recognize the infamous Pat Grouet for an update on FGRS.
Well, good morning to everybody. Good morning to the board. Special good morning to Madam Chairwoman Pat Davis. That's the true boss. If you need an answer, that's the person you go to. Good morning, Mayor. Thank you for your report. By the way, I don't know if any of you attended the other day, but the mayor made a presentation this past Monday and showed us all the inner workings of Cumberland County, and it was most informative. And I'm assuming we have other plans coming up for other county people to, yeah, and you guys should attend. It really is worth it, I'll tell you. Before getting into my harangue here, please support our police department, and this, I think Saturday, July 3rd, the fire department will be having their pancake breakfast right here. Is that correct? So, would appreciate it if you get out and support them. Kudos to a gentleman by the name of Don Hazel, who he helped us out on our first FGRS fundraiser last Friday. Don did a presentation for about an hour and a half on 25 critters that are in your backyard, and it was most informative. And we have a real gem with Don living here in the Glade, and you should read his articles in the paper. It's very interesting, and the man brought a lot of insight into what to look out for, what not to look out for, etc., especially things like snakes and ticks and spiders. So it was well worth it, and he helped us. It was our first fundraiser, and it was well attended. We had about 145 people attend with beverages of your choice being purchased and tables around, so it was very nice, very informative. Our next fundraiser for FGRS will be October 14th. It'll be a comedy show, and in the past, our comedy shows have brought a great deal of levity to Fairfield Glade, and by God, we need to start laughing again. It's been a horrible 20 months, whatever. So we need to get some humor back into Fairfield Glade. So details will be following, and we'll be promoting it, and we will hope that everybody here in the Glade will try to attend. Programs that are flourishing, of course, obviously right now is our Way to Go driving program. We also need drivers. We're stretched thin, so if you know anybody or anybody in this room that would like to be a volunteer driver, we would greatly appreciate it. Our office is open. We're down right next to Benchmark. We're open 9 to 12, 5 days a week. Come on in and sign up. We could always use the help. This program is moving along very well and has been extremely busy, even during COVID. Our other programs were in limbo, as you know, but they are now right getting back onto full bore. The only thing that's still in limbo, and we haven't made an executive decision on this, pardon the term, but our home-delivered meals. We're talking to several churches. There may be some other alternative ways to do it, and we're exploring that right now. One other little thing we're going to do, I think, with primarily our Way to Go drivers, we're going to have where we're going to help people with trash and bringing the mail in. Believe it or not, we have an urgent need. We're getting a lot of phone calls about it. We have residents who literally, either due to an infirmity or maybe just getting out of a hospital with a bad leg or something like that, they can't get their trash